Hey everyone, it's Max. I'm really sorry it's been so long since I've posted a video, but it's because I had finals, and as you can see, I have moved. I'm back home. I have a really long video for you today. I'm going to be doing a couple unboxings and my May book haul. But I do quickly want to go over how my videos are going to be going up this summer. I am planning right now to do Mondays being tag videos, Wednesdays being Top 5 Wednesdays, which is a Goodreads group that I am a part of, and then Friday's going to be kind of miscellaneous. So that's kind of how my plan is right now. So let's just go right on into it because it's going to be a long video. So the very first box I'm going to be unboxing is the Spearcraft book box. This themes month was Cloak and Dagger. I was spoiled on Instagram for what the book is, but I am actually really excited about the book. And then I'm also really sorry about this lighting. It's raining today, and so it's just, here we go. Alright, so the theme was Cloak and Dagger, and on the back are all the spoilers, so I'm not going to quite look at that yet. Alright, the first thing I see is a print that's signed by, it looks like the author or the artist, which is really, really cool. I think this is really pretty. Here are the magnetic bookmarks. It looks like Sherlock Holmes, which is so cute, and maybe different versions of Sherlock Holmes. This looks like the BBC Sherlock Holmes Benedict Cumberbatch, and this just looks like a Sherlock Holmes that's in normals. And this was from the We Dreaming Designs, which is really cool. I really like these. I don't have any magnetic bookmarks, so these are my first. I'm really, really excited about it because I love them. And it says, I am an omnivorous reader with a strangely retentive memory for trifles. So I'm just going to show it to you. I'm guessing that's a Sherlock Holmes quote because right up here it's kind of knotted, but is Sherlock Holmes. So that's really cute. All right, the next thing I see, oh, I think these are the paper decorations that they were talking about. They look like little hearts. So I'm going to figure this out later, but here's the hearts. And it's hand-folded origami heart magnet set, which is and they're quotes from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Oh, I didn't know they were going to be magnets. That's awesome. Last month they also included a magnet. I think I was looking over different unboxings of them, and I think that the magnet is kind of their like monthly thing that they do. Here we go. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, here's a couple more things. Oh, here's another magnet that says Sherlock Holmes with obviously the Benedict Cumberbatch version of Sherlock Holmes. A book, or looks like maybe a manga. It says, "Sure you want to do this, Rilla?" Shadow asked. Won't know until I try, she whispered before lunging at him. That's interesting. I'm not a huge fan of like anime and manga. I don't know, but we're promoting two books by Lainey Sheridan. Yeah. And this is, okay, this goes with the poster because that's what this book is. It is called Shadows of the Past. I don't know what it's about, but it says, secrets hidden in shadow, visions clouded with fear, an ancient evil stirs. Once more, can the princess unravel the mystery before it's too late? That actually does sound pretty cool. That I might actually enjoy that. And then here is another bookmark that says Girl Detective with Nancy Drew on the back. That's cute. I like that. And then a TBR list. That is actually pretty cool. All right. Oh my goodness, stuff keeps coming. I keep thinking we're at the end. Here we have, oh, some more little things that are Pretty Little Liars inspired. I wonder if there is a bookmark which I think is promoting the book, The Love Interest by Kate Dietrich. Cale Dietrich. I am so excited for this book. It was one of my most anticipated books of May. I was so hoping it was going to be in a book box, so I'm just so excited. And I think the last thing before the book, gorgeous bookmark. Look at this. This is heavy. This is huge. I think it's kind of a locket sort of bookmark. Dude, this is really heavy. I don't know if I'll actually use it as a bookmark, but as a nice little decoration. I wonder if maybe it goes with the book or something. I'm not quite sure. And yes, now finally we have the book. And it is The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. I am so excited for this. I know it's about two boy spies who are sent on a mission to follow this one girl. But they send like a good boy and a bad boy, personas to go and I remember Caddy Tastic talking about this at the end of 2016 to talk about her most anticipated reads, and I think she said that maybe the two guys end up falling for each other, which sounds really cool. And then there are a couple more little things. Of course, there is the signed book plate, which is always appreciated, and a little poster, which is so pretty. I really like this. I've started a poster wall at my mom's house. I'm at my dad's house, and I am loving it. But to Fairy Loot, because I am so excited for Fairy Loot. I've always heard just great things about Fairy Loot. It is a little bit expensive because it comes all the way from the UK, but I'm just so excited. And this month was Warriors and Legends. I totally know into it. All right. So the first thing I see is, of course, the card. It has the spoilers on the back, so I'm not going to look at it, but these are so beautiful. I love them. And the next thing I see is Warriors and Legends Jasmine and Leech Green Tea. And I'm just going to try to open it. Oh, that smells really nice. Oh, I like that. I love tea. I'm kind of a sucker for it. And this was from the Tea Leaf Co. So next thing I see is a candle that was promoted and is from In the Wick of Time. Mine is Mist, which is warm stone and wood smoke. That smells really nice. The next thing I see is a little, I think it's a pen. Yes, it is a pen. This is pretty cool, you know? I love pens. I don't know what I'd use it for, maybe just at home, because I don't know if I'd really, maybe when I go back to college I'll use it. Who knows? And now, oh, here's a little 15% off of the Tea Leaf Co. coupon, which is always appreciated. The next thing I see are Celtic socks, which are awesome. I love socks. Yeah, they're just from Fairy Loot, which is really cool. Oh, okay, this next thing I am so excited for. It is World Mythology in bite-sized chunks. I am a sucker for mythology. You know, Percy Jackson, anything by Rick Riordan. I am reading Rick Riordan a lot. I'm planning on reading at least one Rick Riordan book a month. I will be talking about that a little bit later. But I am just so excited for this. I love world mythology. And there's little drawings, which is the Eye of Horus, of course. I am so excited about this book. And this is by I think that's the author, just Mark Daniels, which I just think is so awesome. The next thing is the bookmark that was promoted, and it says "One ring to rule them all." I think that is for Lord of the Rings from Ink Wonder and Designs. And yes, it is based on Lord of the Rings. A lot thinner than I thought it was going to be, so I can actually probably use this in a book. I thought it was just going to be really thick, so I would just use it as a decoration. But it is so pretty. I do really like this. Okay, the next thing I see, oh, there's a book, is a little chapter sampler called Noundel by Maria Turchanikov. I don't know how to pronounce that. It reminded me of like Moana, and I thought maybe it was like a Moana retelling already, even though the movie like recently came out. This sounds really, oh, it's already out now, so I can just go pick it up if I want to. This sounds really, really awesome. And then the final thing in the box is, of course, the book in this nice, awesome little packaging. So let's just get into it. All right, I'm going to pull out a couple things before. So the first thing that was in the bag was the Fairy Scoop, which talks about kind of all different things, a meeting with the author, and on the back it talks about the next month, which is Elementalists, which I'm so excited about, or a pillowcase, which I'm really, really excited about. Other thing that was in here was a little poster, which is the cover of the book, which is so pretty. I love it. And on the back, I think Renee Ahdieh, the author. A bookmark that says The Flame in the Mist, which is the book, and a quote. And a little bookmark with the theme picture. And now the final thing is, of course, the book. And the book is The Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. All I know about this book is it is a Mulan retelling set in feudal Japan, and that is all I really want to know about this book. I'm so excited to read this. I am planning on reading it in June. Okay, and now finally we are just going to go into all of the books I actually bought myself in May. So the first, actually, I am going to start with two books I bought April 31st, but they did not make it into my April book haul, so let's just get into them. First book I got was The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Helick. This is a book about a girl whose father's ship can travel through space, time, and different worlds, but he is obsessed with getting back to the time and place of when her mother was alive to save her. But the one problem is, if he saves her, Nix, the main character, might die. So she has to figure out how to stop him. And the lighting, there was sun and the clouds just covered it, so I'm sorry, it's a little dark. The lighting in my room kind of sucks, but we're just gonna go with it. The next book I got was a book that I am so excited about because I have wanted this book since I heard about it when it first came out, but I just couldn't bring myself to buy the hardcover, and I saw it in paperback, and that is The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly by Stephanie Oakes. This is a book about a girl who is in a juvenile detention center, recounting her times in a cult and how her hands got chopped off. I mean, doesn't that sound awesome? And then the next book I got was a book that I bought off of Book Depository in April, but it didn't come until May, and that was The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is a spin-off of the Percy Jackson and Olympians series. I have decided to read at least one Rick Riordan book a month, and this started off with May. I plan on reading the second book to this series, Son of Neptune, in June, and so on and so forth. If you don't know what the Percy Jackson series is about, it is about a boy named Percy who is the son of Poseidon, and he has to stop the Titans from coming back to life, sort of thing. And then, of course, the next book will come as no surprise to anyone, and that is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third and final book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. There will be a spin-off companion trilogy, which I am already so excited about, even though it comes out next year. And then after that, I was feeling a little bit of a slump coming on, of course, and then I was going to take back a couple books because and then when I returned it, I got Geekerella by Ashley Jostin. If you don't know what this book is about, it is a Cinderella retelling about a girl who lives with her stepmother, but a movie is being made off of her and her father's favorite television show when she was younger. She hates the main character who's playing them, or the actor who's playing the main character, but then unbeknownst to her, they start texting over like a wrong number situation, and it is adorable. It was fantastic. During that same trip, this was at Barnes & Noble, and I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I was so excited when I saw it for 20% off. That is Circumnavigated Fairyland in a ship of her own making. A little bit of a mouthful. And what was great was right after I bought, well, not right after, but after I bought this, actually just last weekend, I was talking to someone, and she recommended this book to me, saying it was a mixture of Wonderland, Neverland, Narnia, and The Wizard of Oz, and I'm like, yes, that is for me. And I just love this. I don't actually really know what this is about, but I was so excited. And then the next book I picked up was the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. The next book I got, I actually had finished all of the books on my TBR, and so I sent them all home, and this was the day that I was leaving, but I was leaving, I was going to go stay with my uncle, and then I was actually coming home the next day, but I had hours and hours and hours. I had like a 2-hour flight, and then a 5-hour layover, and then a 4-hour flight, and then an hour layover, and then a 2-hour flight. I had a lot of flights, so I definitely needed a book. And this book I didn't want to pick up at first, like when it came out, because I have heard amazing things about this book, but the first trilogy that this author wrote, I wasn't a huge fan of, but I think it's because I just wasn't ready for her writing style, because it is very poetic and lyrical. And then I decided to get a free Nookbook excerpt of the book, and I just fell in love. So I had to pick up Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Sorry, the glare is kind of awful, but let's just talk about this beautiful cover. This is a book about a boy named Lazo Strange who is obsessed with this lost city called Weep. And then when a convoy from Weep comes to try to recruit people to help them take down this evil power, he is brought along for the ride. That's all I'm going to say. Anything else would be a total spoiler. It is told in dual perspectives. It was amazing. It quickly flew up to the top of my favorites list, but I'll talk about more about that in my wrap-up. But it was fantastic. The next book I got was actually my dad texted me saying he was at Sam's Club, which has really great deals on books, and he sent out some book titles, so I asked him to grab a couple for me. And the first one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. All I know is I have heard Reagan from Peruse Project talk about this nonstop. She loves it so much. I know it's about two sisters. That's about it. But I am really excited to read this. I plan on reading it in December. Next book that my dad also got from Sam's Club at the same time was Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Truchok. This was honestly a cover buy, because when my dad said the name, I just remembered the cover. I didn't know who it was by. I didn't know what it was about. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy that this was cheap, because it's literally a love triangle. This is what it says. I'm not quite sure. When I read it, I actually read the synopsis online. It sounded way more like it just revolved around these three people. The next book I picked up, so Book Depository was having a huge sale. A whole bunch of books were really cheap, and I was so excited to see this book, because I have wanted this book, but it was so expensive, and, you know, it's not really, it doesn't further any plot lines or anything, but it's just one of those collector's things, and that is The Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare. This is just kind of, this is like the rule book that all Shadowhunters live by, and Cassandra Clare finally made one, and sorry, my cat is playing with my computer, and it's kind of stubby note. And so this, I'm just like really excited to pick up at some point. Maybe I'll just pick it up here and there, because it's not really a story, but it's just the rules and regulations of being a Shadowhunter, which is awesome. And then I decided to get a couple classics during the same Book Depository sale that I do plan on reading in October, and you'll see why. The first one is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is about a man who is afraid of aging, so he works with this artist. It's kind of magical realism to make this painting age instead of him, and I think he kind of becomes obsessed with this painting. It's kind of spooky, kind of creepy, a perfect October read. And then the last classic that I got on the Book Depository order was was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is of course about Dr. Jekyll, who makes a potion to split himself in half and take all of his bad parts and put them and kind of get rid of them, so he's all good. But I think it just turns out that it makes him have split personality disorder, and half the time he's Mr. Jekyll, and half of the time he's Mr. Hyde, who is the bad guy. The next book I got was a great book pick for the month of May. The May theme was Comic Explosion, and the book was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I have read this. I did enjoy it. This is about a girl named Eliza, who is a very, very famous comic maker. She posts it like every week, and so many people adore it, but they don't know that it's Eliza who makes it. But then a new boy comes into town, and he is also a huge fan of, it's called Monstrous Sea, is the comic that she makes, and he is also a huge fan of it. So they become friends, and more stuff happens, obviously. It was pretty good. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. And then I went to Idaho Falls, which is where my Barnes & Noble is, and I got a few books, of course. The first one I was really excited to see. I have just heard amazing things about it on BookTube, becoming a movie, which I didn't know about, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. So this book is about a guy, I don't really know how old he is, but it's set in the future, and they all live in these weird contraptions, and this boy is a huge gamer, and then there is a competition where the winner wins any cure to any disease that they want, and I think maybe his sister or someone is sick, so he wants to compete to win that cure. I've just heard absolutely phenomenal things. It's being directed by Steven Spielberg. Enough said. Enough said. He's amazing. The next book I picked up I was so excited to see it in paperback, because I love this cover in paperback. I haven't read anything by her, I know, and I know I shouldn't read this first because it's kind of a spin-off of a different book, but that is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. So this is a spin-off of Fangirl. This is kind of the story, the fan fiction that she makes, but this is kind of like a Hogwarts-ish school that Simon and Baz go to, and they are roommates, and they have to, it's like their 7th year, and they have to fight these monsters, and I think they fall in love. But look at this gorgeous cover. The original cover is like yellow. I'm not a huge fan of yellow, but I am a huge fan of purple, and I really like this. The next book I got was another classic, and it was really cheap. It was like $5. I was like, yes, please. And that is The Arabian Nights. Look at this. It is huge. This is like, 101 1001 Arabian Nights, whatever. And the final two books in this haul, one of them will come as no surprise to anyone, but the other one I was also at, of course, Barnes & Noble, and I just saw it, and I am just so excited. I wanted to read this. I really enjoy the author, and that is And I Darken by Kiersten White. This is a Vlad the Impaler retelling, but it is gender swapped, so Vlad is a girl named Lada, and I think she's like, her and her brother, Ranu, I've started it and I can't even remember his name, but Ranu or something like that. They have to run away from their home and they are sent to a different country, the enemy country, but then they start being friends with the prince of the Ottoman Empire, which is the enemy country, and stuff happens. I don't really know. I have heard fantastic things. I'm really excited to read it. Oh, this pile is about to just topple over. And the last book I have gotten in May will come as no surprise to anyone because May was just the month of great new releases, and that is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. Of course. Of course. I am in love with it. It is the second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. I'm not going to really explain what that series is about because it will bring kind of spoilers of the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you on Monday. Bye!